Welcome to That's My Opinion Pod. I'm your host, Beto Iglesias. We are back. I took a little Labor Day break, and now I have a very lovely guest with us today, Zoe from the Bravo Chronicles. She'll be talking to us soon, giving us all the answers on who her Bravo Lebs are, who her favorite housewives are. We'll get all the tea on her. And then after we do that, we're going to get into OC. There's definitely some stuff to discuss, but I feel like we need to leave the bulk of the episode for the Dubai finale, how we're feeling about season 2, and what we think the future of Dubai is. We'll have to stay tuned on that. But yeah, let's get straight into it. All right, Zoe, welcome to That's My Opinion Pod. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you for having me. I am so excited. We were just talking about this, but like with Labor Day weekend, I feel like whenever you have a long weekend, that next week is always the longest. And so the fact that we had Dubai finale in such a good Orange County, I was so excited to do this. So thanks for having me.
Of course. Okay, we need to get straight to the nitty gritty. Every guest that comes on is asked these questions. We're going to start with number 1. What is your favorite Housewives franchise of all time?
Okay, so I have binged every season of Housewives. I would have to say it's a tie between Beverly Hills and Orange County, but I love the relationships. Like I'm a big, I love seeing like the families. Like you had like Gina Kia, like at the beginning, you had Vicky and like you watched Brianna and Michael and all that. So I'm going to say I'm more Orange County, but Beverly Hills is like the drama I need. That's what I'm watching right now. And it's like peak, like the bunny and everything, Munchausen's. So those are my two like babies, I would have to say.
Love that. Okay, so the next question is, who are your favorite top 5 housewives of all time?
Okay, so don't kill me. So I had to do 10 because it's like saying, who are your top 5 kids? And it's like, whenever you have 100 plus kids, you can't just pick 5. So I'm going to do these really, really quick, and they're in no particular order. And I'm going to own all my answers and have a little explanation of why. Okay, so Vicky Gunvalson. I know it's not popular, but she makes me laugh. Whether it's like just her screaming to Alexis on the top of a mountain, like I have to say, if I'm ever down, I look up the family van scene and it automatically makes my day better. And that is so embarrassing, but it's so true. So I'm going to say Vicky, like early Vicky.
Okay.
2 is Heather Dubrow. I have loved Heather from the beginning. I think she is like just a role model for like women in the sense of like classiness, like very much Audrey Hepburn. And fun fact about me, when I turned 21, my first legal drink was a Champs in honor of her. So that's how much I love Heather. 3 is Lisa Barlow. I absolutely love her. She's so iconic. There's not like one episode that I don't just like chuckle, like not chuckle at her. 4 is Phaedra. She is staying booked and busy, whether it's Medicine, Atlanta, and Dancing with the Stars. But the best thing Bravo did this year was bring her back. I'm so excited. And Traitors. She killed Traitors. When Sheree just like found out and she was like, that's my best friend. Phaedra just was like the best traitor.
So good. Okay.
Rinna. I love Rinna. In the set, like old Rinna, like vintage Rinna, in the sense of like, she gave us so many iconic scenes and you have to thank her for some of those. So I'm going to say her. Brynn Whitfield. I love the new New York. And I have to say, Brynn is like the modern day Kim Cattrall. She is hilarious. She's gorgeous. But I'm very much of a Charlotte. But whenever I saw Brynn, I was like, that's so like a Samantha. Karen Huger. She is like the Grand Dame. I have to say, for her birthday party, when they were painting paintings of her, that episode killed me. I thought that was so good. Okay, this is not popular, but Bethany Frankel, early Bethany Frankel.
Okay.
In the sense that she made us laugh, like with the muffin, that like I could hear a muffin drop. Like when she would make fun of Ramona, like with the drink and Ramona's dating, you have to laugh at that. And so that Bethany I love. Now I'm kind of like, oh, but I was debating whether or not to put her in, but I have to own it. So I'm going to say her. Talene is my ninth. I think she is the best newcomer we've had in such a long time. I have to be honest, when I first saw her, I was like, oh, I don't know if she's going to fit in. I don't know if she's going to do too much, but she's absolutely killing this season. I'm going to say Teresa. I think she is one of the most vulnerable housewives we've had in the sense of, like she said, she went to jail. She, had her 4 daughters. We literally have seen Adriana grow up. But I will say this. I wish that her and Melissa and Joe were close again. I miss seeing the kids together. And I hope that we can get to that point eventually. Like, it may just be down the line. But I'm going to say those are my 10 Mount Rushmore ladies. So sorry. I know that took a little bit of time.
No, that was great. That was very interesting. I love that you were able to defend all of them. And I definitely agree with your takes. I
Yeah.
think Teresa is definitely a controversial one. But I do
Yes.
appreciate that. I think out of all the housewife stories we've ever gotten, she's
Yes.
always put everything out for us.
Yeah. And I have to say, like, I love Melissa too. I have a brother, and I don't think I could ever do that to my brother and not talk to him. So I am not like, no Melissa. So I just want to say that first.
Yeah. Very fair. Okay. Next, very important question.
Yes.
What is your favorite non-Housewives Bravo show?
So I just finished watching Summer House for the first time from start to finish. I know. So I literally just finished it yesterday and it was amazing. So I'm going to say Summer House, if not Southern Charm, but more Summer House. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then who are your top 5 favorite Bravo celebrities?
Okay. So I only did 5 for these. So first is Paige. I think her sass, just everything about her I love. And I love her and Craig. They're like my favorite Bravo couple. 2 is Nia off of the Valley. I absolutely fell in love with her this year. And like just how real she is. I feel like we need more people like that nowadays who are just so raw, that share their stories. She's beautiful from the inside out.
Yeah.
3 is Sierra. I hope this new season she gets like the man of her dreams because she deserves it. I cannot wait to see her on the Traitors. So I'm going to say her. Madison LaCroix. I think she is the modern day Barbie. I think she's gorgeous. And I love her family. I love her son. She has such a good story. Finally, because I'm so proud of her, Brittany from VPR The Valley. I am so proud of her for taking that leap of faith, getting separated from Jax. I cannot wait to see on camera whenever he gets served the papers. I'm going to have the biggest bucket of popcorn. So those are my 5.
Love those.
Yeah.
All the women.
I know.
Love that. So can you tell us a little bit about how you started the Bravo Chronicles?
Sure. So my boyfriend was actually the one that was like, okay, you talk way too much about Bravo. You have got to just talk to other people. And I was like, no, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I don't know if, this is going to be a thing. I don't know if it's not. He's like, who cares? Like, it's just to meet people and people like you and talk. And so for me, I'm very much about positivity. And there's so much negativity around the Bravo Labs. And I'm not about that. I think it's so difficult to do what they do in the sense of putting their life on camera. We may disagree with their things, but we're not in their shoes. So I just want to spread some positivity. I'm not about slamming down people. I may be honest, I will do that, but having respect for the men and women in Bravo, and Andy for dealing with all these people, we could never. Yeah. So I started this back in about February, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And it's meeting people like you, meeting people just like Bravo friends. It's so much fun. And so, that's just a little bit about me. I'm just trying to spread the love and meet people. And yeah.
I love that. Okay. Well, yeah, you have a great page. I love it. I'm so
thank you. Me too.
So let's get straight into it. Orange County.
Okay.
What an episode.
Oh my gosh.
I'm like, how the fuck do we sue John Jansen? I say it every week, but we got to make it happen.
I keep thinking, okay, Bravo knew what they were doing, bringing Alexis back into the group. But I also I don't think they knew how bad she is going to be. I even think the ladies think that. You kind of even see it with Heather of oh my gosh, like this is not normal, you know?
Yeah.
Her saying that, oh, I want to settle. Like Alexis just wants to settle. No, she doesn't want to settle. Like she wants to fight. And I think who said it? I think it was Gina who said it. But she said, if basically, which I totally agree, why is John stepping on Shannon so much if he's so happy in his relationship?
Yeah. Agreed.
Like when Shannon was bawling her eyes out, I literally wanted to walk to Sonoma and just give her the biggest hug.
I know. I know. It was so sad to watch. I also think Alexis being like, I just want to settle. I just want to settle. Like, it's not yours to settle.
No,
That's what makes me see that she's the one that encouraged him to go after her legally because it's
100%.
not your money. It's not your
Mm-mm.
case. Yeah, it's your boyfriend, but like you've been dating for a couple of months. So it just shows that your involvement is beyond that way that I'm
And
so
she's doing too much, like way too much.
And there was a point in the episode where, I mean, John's Ferragamo shoes was so funny. I love when there's a sense of comic relief of
Me
like
too.
the symbolism of something so silly, but it actually is so deep coming up in the episode. And I think Tamara being like, oh, like Shannon was dissecting everything. And I was like, no, when I bought my ex-boyfriend stuff, I was like, is he wearing it? Did he get rid of it? Did he do this with it?
100%.
It's normal. It's so normal.
It's so normal. And I have to laugh at Gina. When Gina was like the premiere, it's like they're going to go on tour. I was like, again, Gina is one of those housewives that I'll be honest. At first, when she first came in the group, I was like, okay, she's not going to last that long. I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm going to like her.
Yeah.
She is absolutely killing this season. And I am so excited for her confessionals every episode. She is killing this season.
Mhm.
But I have to say this. I don't think to a premiere in a public place, I could ever wear something my ex-boyfriend gave me. Like, you know, you're going to be photographed. You know, Shannon's going to find out. Like, and any normal person, like you said, is going to be like, I bought that for him.
Yeah.
Like, she's not dissecting. And when Tamara said that, I was like, last week, y'all just made up. I was so confused last week if the Trace amigas were back or if they were not. And like, Vicky had that question and answer. She was like, no, I don't like Tamara. So I was like, what was that about then? Was that just for camera? Like, you got to have her back at some point. And she's not dissecting, is the point.
Yeah, she's literally not dissecting. And I also think it just goes to show that whatever Shannon, because Shannon's asserting basically that she paid for a lot of John's stuff. And it's showing that like he may not even realize all the stuff that he got her because he's just wearing it as if it's his. And it is
100%.
Gifts are yours by definition. But it's just showing that lack of awareness on John's behalf in terms of the shoes.
100%.
I thought
And
it was
also,
so funny when Heather was like, they weren't even that
they weren't
expensive.
that much. I know. I was like, I'm over here like, oh my gosh, that's so expensive. But for Heather DeBro to say like, not even that much, I was like, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
But I think Alexis's highlight moment of the whole episode was her saying about the hairspray. Like, oh, just bring the hairspray. That was like, okay, that's old Lex. Like, that was so good. But definitely Team Shannon. I think as the episode went on, there's more women that are like, this is not okay. Now, if you were in the group, would you want to tell Shannon about the video?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I totally agree.
Yeah. I think if that's someone you care about, it's your friend, and you know legally there's stuff going on, I would be like, I think you should know why they're coming after you and what the blackmail situation is. Like
100%.
I think I would. I also was over Alexis being like, all Shannon does is talk about John. All she does is talk about I'm like, girl, mirror up. Mirror up. Seriously.
And I could never, I don't know about you, but I could never be in Shannon's shoes and like date a man for 3-5 years, however long they did, have a public relationship. You know, they were in love, basically got her heart broken. And then within months, there's a new girl and she's in the group. I could never do that. I could never go on trips with my ex's new girlfriend. And for Alexis to say that, it's like she is not even with the program, like,
Agreed.
honestly. And she has no respect for Shannon.
Agreed. Also, Emily had a really good confessional moment where she was like, I want to talk to Alexa. Like, I don't think she's seeing the perspective that
Mm-mm.
of like, we should be women supporting each other, lifting each other up. And I so badly want to see Emily explaining this to Alexis. That's what I want.
Me too. And I think that will really tell, like, who Alexis is of, like, that if she wants to settle. Like, that to me is like, okay, like, she's not fully Johnny J. You know, she at least has her own opinion. But Emily sits her down and is like, hey, like, did you ever think about it from Shannon's shoes? You know, she doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have like any more kids at home. She literally just has Archie.
Yeah.
And Alexis's ex-husband sued her for a lot of money. And Shannon's having to pay for a lot for her, just her kids and her house. Like, you have to put yourself in her position and just think, you know, how would you feel? And any normal person would be like, that's a horrible place to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hope that Alexis would be like, you know what? You're right, Emily. Like, thank you for bringing that to my attention. I need to talk to John.
Yeah. Agreed.
And back to your comment about the gifts, it's a gift. So do you see Shannon now going to John saying, give me $475 for that and give me $300 for your belt? She doesn't do that. That's like a class act. It's a gift. You take it. It's done. For him, about the facelift to be demanding $75,000, that is total BS. And it happened years ago, I think. So you can't be coming now 3 years down the road saying, give me my money when it was a gift. And you can't like undo a facelift. Like, come on.
We unfortunately can't. I mean, Jenna looks so good.
She looks so good.
So good. Yeah. And then, I mean, that moment where Shannon finds out about the ring footage was so hard.
I literally have the chills right now. I've never seen, I don't think Shannon that as raw as we saw her. And seeing that photo of her, like with Heather, I know I'm going like a little bit forward, sorry.
Yeah.
But it's just the whole moment for her, you could just tell was so traumatizing.
Yeah.
And when she found out, I mean, she called her lawyer, she was freaking out. But I'm happy that she found out because it's like the other women were all talking about it.
Yeah.
And I think coming from Gina I was so proud of Gina this season of she really could have been mean to Shannon because Shannon was so mean to her regarding the DUI. And Gina started to just take the high road. And so she's really been in Shannon's corner the whole season.
Yeah.
I think coming from her, that was the best case scenario. And she was with the core women. I think Heather could have been there. It would have been fine. But I think having, you know, Emily, Gina, Katie, people that care about her.
Yeah.
That was best case scenario for Shannon. But I just broke when she found out.
I felt so bad. And I just think the whole thing is so dirty. And then, okay, let's get into the details of when Shannon goes to talk to Heather. She mentions the whole details kind of the accident and how she drove into the house and John didn't come out, allegedly. And that she sent this text message and he allegedly didn't respond. And then he then allegedly texted her at 3:00 in the morning saying they brought Archie, what's going on. Which is so, those details don't necessarily matter to me that much.
No.
But I'm just feel so bad that Shannon is there just trying to tell her side. Now she finally feels like I can. And you can tell when she goes to show the picture to Heather, Heather even looks at it and you can tell there's a moment, I think at least, the way I interpret it.
Yeah.
Heather kind of like puts the phone away, kind of being like, are you sure you want to show this
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? That picture is fucking bad.
And that's such a good point because if you notice, like her phone was a little bit blurred out at first. And then when she said like, yeah, like, you know, whatever, you could see it. She literally looks like a zombie. The fact that allegedly if John did not check up on her, what type of person is he? Any normal person like would be like, oh my gosh, like where is she? Like she sent me this photo.
Yeah.
I need to go check up on her.
Yeah.
Like, and the fact that he got Archie and doesn't even care, like what type of person is John? He's just trash. Like, but that whole scene, you could just tell, like, in a way, I feel like Shannon was afraid of him. And like what would come out, because it's essentially 2 against 1 right now. It's Alexis and John versus Shannon. She doesn't have anybody. She has the women, but you can only take it for what it is. If you had a man in your life or just
Yeah.
a significant other, like your ride or die, you at least have someone for sure in your corner. She
Yeah.
doesn't have that right now. And I think that's what we're seeing of, she's so scared, like her reputation's falling apart. But she kind of got that confidence of, you know what, I'm done protecting him. And she even said that, why protect this horrible person anymore?
Yeah.
And I was so proud of her for showing that photo and just being so raw, because she's really like held her relationship
Mhm.
just, she really doesn't explain a lot. It's like last season, Heather was telling us all about it.
Yeah.
And I get it. There's parts whenever you're in a relationship, you don't, on TV, you don't really want to share some of the ugly stuff,
Of course.
but you have to be honest. And I think now the truth serum's coming and she's taking off her gloves. And I'm so proud of her.
Me too. Me too. I really want the best for her. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out throughout the season. And we're all in Shannon's corner, and I'm excited to see her come out from this. And I'm excited to see John Jansen and Alexis Polino continue to just go under the fucking radar.
And they just need to go get married and like get the divorce in 5 years. Like, it's not going to last. Like, and what's really going to be not funny, but funny is if he does the same thing to Alexis eventually.
I mean,
Because he just seems like that person.
Yeah, 100%. So, anything else that happened this episode? I'm probably going to give my MVP to Heather this episode.
Me too. I have to say,
Love that she
Heather
talks about
is
her
an amazing parent. Like, I don't think many parents are like that and could accept their kids like she does.
Yeah, agreed.
And I had to laugh of her making fun of Terry of like, you can't even hang up a photo. Like, you do all these things.
Yeah.
Let me think. I love seeing Sophia on the show. Like, I'm so happy we're getting to see her. Jen getting $6,000 for her child support. Yeah. So I have to ask this. Do you like Katie? I know I'm kind of switching gears, but I'm trying to get a read on her.
I'm not sure. I have to let her ride the season out. She hasn't hit me in yes or no either way.
Me too. I, at first, like first impression, I was like, oh, she's so cool. Like, I think she's going to be a great fit. And then coming as her as she did, like on Heather, I was like, okay, like slow your roll. But now it's like that Gina versus Katie. And I'm just very confused about it all.
I don't think a lot of it's making sense because I think they have to do a lot of stuff for the show. So, for example, them being like, we're friends. It's like, well, you've only known each other for a few months. And you're coming on because whenever they bring on new housewives, they have to be on as someone's friend.
Yeah.
And so she's coming on as Gina's friends because they knew each other.
Yeah.
So they kind of have to make it seem to the audience like they are friends, but we know they've only known each other for 6 months maximum.
Exactly.
Katie's story to me is, I want to know more about it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah. I'm very interested in like getting the details out. But no, Jen's settlement was shit. I'm like, girl, oh my God. It's so bad. I wonder how it could be so bad. I'm really curious.
Yeah, and it's only, and I mean, I feel for her in the sense of now with the whole Ryan and the investigation, that's going to be so difficult on her.
Yeah.
And whether you like her or not, it's just hard having your significant other go through this huge court.
Do people not like her?
I think it's one of those things like it's kind of like Erica, you know, like whenever Erica was going through the Tom Girardi stuff, some people hated her because they're like, oh, she's guilty. And so I think it's one of those things. Some people really like her. Some people think, oh, she must have known about this. I have to be honest. I don't think she knew about all this money. It's like she said, like she's had men take care of her. Yeah. I think she just accepted it for face value of, oh, I have this new Rolex Ryan gave me. I don't think she honestly knew.
She does not ask questions.
No.
That girl just gets it.
She just gets whatever. And yeah, and the thing I hope for Jen is that she finds her purpose of she's an amazing mom. She has a great family, but there comes a time where you have to start working and you have to earn, like, just as a woman, just getting your own money and being in the position she is in. And she has her yoga studio, don't get me wrong. But it's like Gina said, she's coming to everything glam. That's X amount of
Oh my
money.
God.
Like,
Oh, when she had the phone call, she's on the phone talking to Katie about how the mediation went. She's like, not good. I'm stressed. And I can see a little filler bruise. And I'm
I
like,
know.
girl, if I was her lawyer, I would be so fucking pissed. You can't go on the show, kind of try to garner sympathy after you have
Mm-mm.
fucking filler bruises, dude.
No.
Like, I'm
I
sorry.
did not notice that.
I mean, it
Okay.
seemed like a filler bruise. It looked like a filler bruise to me.
I'm sure it is. Yeah. Talking about work. Okay. I have to ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you think of Tamara right now with all of the plastic surgery?
Oh, I'm fine with it. I don't think you should go. I don't want to see it in the sense of like she looks so bad right now. Like it's scary. Like it's a little scary.
Yeah.
But I'm do what you gotta do.
100%. Do you think that she is, this is a hot take, but it's just a thought. I don't think she is, but do you think in a way she's getting, like, she got like an incentive because she's being so public about it? Because I saw like people were talking about her and I was like,
Like
that's
fighting.
so weird.
Yeah, she's probably getting like some of the surgery
Yeah.
for sure. I wouldn't be shocked if she did.
But she looks great. Like, you start seeing like the skin's peeling. Like now, like her skin's starting to look great. Like, don't get me wrong.
No, yeah.
Um,
I'm doing
but
it too, but like,
yeah.
I mean,
I did not want to see that the swollen face and
no,
like
I
her,
didn't want
yeah.
to see that. It's a little scary. Any
Mhm.
other OC thoughts before we move on to the Dubai finale?
I'm excited as this season continues. I'm hoping that Shannon gets the justice that she deserves and that the women rally around her. I think that's just my biggest thing. I want Tamra to stop being so hard on her. I think being best friends, there is that responsibility of holding your best friends to a higher standard. I don't agree with Shannon drinking as much as she is right now, but that's my we're not Shannon. You know, we can't control her. But I hope that the ladies continue to pour their hearts out to her and to be there for her. And Shannon just has a great season and I'm just proud of her. And hopefully she finds like the love of her life. That's what I hope
Oh,
for her.
me too. Except she's probably gonna be so scared going into any
Oh,
relationship
yeah.
or
Yeah.
she doesn't know how to pick them. She picks out.
Right.
Oh,
She's a matchmaker.
yeah,
We
we
need to
should
get,
her and Sutton should go on some dates together.
I
And
know. I would love to see. That's what they need. That show about like those women going on dating.
yeah, well, they're doing that.
That's right. Is Shannon one of them?
No, I think it's like Luann and other women.
Giselle, Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, you never know if there's gonna be more seasons. We got a lot of
Yeah.
single housewives who we would
Mhm.
love to see dates.
Yes.
Okay, so let's move on to Dubai.
Oh my gosh.
What is up Lisa Milan's ass? Because she is wound up really tight.
Do you know what she reminded me of? LVP. When LVP did not like a situation in Housewives, she would just get up and leave. Especially, like I said, I'm going back. But remember when Brandy brought the magazines and
Yeah.
basically we caught LVP in the act. She just got up and left.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Lisa's doing. She's just so mean. Part of me thinks like, were they really like these close of friends? Like honestly, or was it just for the show?
I think they were close friends.
I do too.
I do think they were close friends. I hope maybe watching the season back, she reflects a little bit
Mhm.
because I can only imagine if someone was filming me, I would be like, oh my God, I didn't realize I raised my voice. I didn't realize I was speaking.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I kind of came that heavy. So I hope she sees that because, for example, when Talene unnecessarily got involved with the whole like Brooks drama, she like yells and is pointing fingers. And then the moment Talene points the finger back, she's like, don't put your finger at me. It's like, well, you're getting
You
riled
just
up.
did.
And then when we're at the like that beach club they were at, and Talene really calmly wants to have an apology
Mhm.
and have a moment and a little kiki, Lisa's yelling again and she's getting riled up. She's very, very easily triggered, very short fuse.
Mhm.
And it's it makes it tense while you're watching. You're like, oh my God, she's yelling. Why is she yelling? This isn't a yelling fight. This isn't one of the yelling fight. And I really find it very difficult to watch. Although I love Caroline Stanbury bringing in comedic relief and being like, I'm getting up, I'm leaving. Talene, you're an idiot.
I loved it. I do have to say, I think Talene does take on all these fights, like, unnecessarily. I think that's because she's such a ride and die friend, though, and I think that's, like, her true authentic self. But I'm not one for, like, how Lisa is doing that conversation with her and, like, hurting women. Like, they're all in the same boat. They all have families. They all have businesses or something.
Yeah.
Don't do that and don't point. I loved how Talene was like you said, don't put your finger at me. Like,
Yeah.
let's not do this.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think Lisa just doesn't like a situation. She just gets up and leaves instead of having that moment. You know, I'm not going to apologize. Like, why can't they just apologize and move on? Because, like, I feel like that's the problem with Dubai is it's like we saw in the first season. They were not true friends yet.
Yeah.
And this season, it got a little bit better. But you have to have those moments of, you know, nobody cheated on your husband. You know, nobody did anything like that. This was so minor in life that let's just forget and move on.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you. I also felt so bad for her husband when he was like, are we sure we have to leave? Can we just sit with the boys?
He was like, I want to stay.
But we really have to. We have to go. Yeah, it's been tough watching her in conflicts this season. But at the end of the day, I also do have compassion for her because she also has shared with the audience how stressed out she is. How intense her life is, taking care of her kids, not being with her mom, strain on her marriage. Not really, but like kind of like needing a bit more.
Absolutely.
So I hope maybe at the reunion she's able to be like, I'm sorry, I was a little wound up tight. There's other things going on in my life. It doesn't excuse it, but I hope you guys understand why I was kind of behaving that way.
Me
But
too.
it's tough to watch. And then you're also seeing the editors did her dirty when they showed those flashbacks of like basically controlling Ion.
Controlling Ion. And it's one of those things that in the moment, whenever you're watching, you're like, oh my gosh, she's so controlling. But you're really like, did the editors just do that? Like, was she really controlling or did she just make comment? Like about the gloves? Like, do you really have to wear the gloves? That's Ion. Like, Ion's not going to take off her fashion for anybody.
Agreed. I appreciate that the women confronted Chanel, being like, you're different when she's around. You talk different. You kind of get involved in conflict differently. And you can tell she's a ride or die that she would be Lisa's puppet in a way throughout the season.
100%.
Every fight. Once again, the editors came with receipts and were like, look how she's coming in conflicts that she doesn't need to be in. And I think those clips say a lot.
Oh, yeah. And this is my thing with Lisa. And again, like, it goes back to being in this group of women, being on a show. Why can't Ion have a relationship with Stanbury? Also be best friends with Lisa. We see that all over, you know? It's like the Fox Forest 5. Like, they're all close-knit girls, but, you know, Teddy and Kyle are best friends, but everybody loves one another. Why can't Lisa allow Chanel to be her own person?
I'll tell you why. Because Lisa Milan is navigating the show, right? Not as authentically. And she's being very strategic. And I don't think she's a trustworthy person. I don't think she trusts people very easily. She has her guard up. I think, and by the way, Chanel kind of proved her point.
She did.
You get close to her, you're going to start telling her my secret, and they're going to be able to be used against me. And in Lisa's defense, we saw it this season of Chanel and Stanbury getting close and Chanel using things that Lisa's told her and bringing it in other scenarios. So I think Lisa doesn't trust that things will be used against her if Chanel's able to have other friendships.
I agree. Lisa wants to be top dog. And if she's not top dog, she's a problem with that. And it's like you said, she's very strategic. And I totally get, because I think being women, there's so much drama. And there are some women who are here for it, some people who are more guarded. And I do respect that. But she's literally a lump on a log. Like, she cannot be happy for anybody. And she's so fixated on Caroline and Ion doing this party together. Like, get over it, move on. Like, people would like you more if you just had fun with it.
Yeah,
And I'm sure that Ion would like you more if you just went with it.
agreed.
Because I would love to see a fun Lisa. I feel like we've never really seen a fun Lisa. It's always been very business, very conservative. It's so hard for you to like Lisa.
So at the end of the episode, they talk about the whole Lisa wants a house in the Cotswolds, and Caroline brings up her family home. And then Chanel, and this, it goes to my point where I was saying, where I'm kind of defending Lisa, being like, I get why she's a little iffy about Chanel and Stanbury being friends, because look at the way there's telephone always happening between them three. And Chanel allegedly uses the word bragging. What's your take?
I was not expecting this. I was honestly, sounds so bad. I was like a letdown. I was like, this is the fight. We're talking about the word bragging. I don't think we're ever going to know what happened because I think the women are so stuck in their ways of like, I think out of the three of them, Stanbury, Lisa, and Ion, I believe Stanbury.
Yeah, agree.
I don't know if Chanel made this up. I am very torn. And this is my thing. It's hard because you see this a lot in the housewives, and I don't like it. Swearing on your kids. I think that needs to stop. It's only okay if Teresa did it like at the beginning, but I think housewives have caught on because we saw Heather do it this season.
Yeah.
Lisa did it, and she got passionate. So it's like your emotion gets tired, like, oh my gosh, okay, she swore on her kids, she's like telling the truth. But also, it's like, would Ion make this up at this point? Because Ion, like, we've had this feeling of like, Ion's done with Lisa. Like, she's going to let, all this truth come out. So, like, you kind of want to believe Ion and the editors, like you said, did Lisa dirty. So you're kind of thinking, okay, Lisa's a liar and all these things. And so I was not expecting it. I think it's a very petty fight. And my thing also, it's a hot take. Was the crying at the end real or fake? Like when Lisa was like, I just can't. do this," and she got up and left. Like, you're in a confessional, you're going to get asked this.
It felt fake.
It was fake. And that's why I'm like, I think we would have a lot more, not respect, but like sympathy for Lisa if she would just be real.
Yeah.
Of like that, like you said, I'm going through a lot right now. My business, this, my family life, like my mom, I'm just tired. But I'm on Chanel's side, I think, out of the two.
Okay, so I will say, I want to get into my analysis of Lisa, but before I do, I think there is a chance Chanel used the word bragging. I think
do too. Yeah.
because Chanel is a little, and she admits is a little, like how we say it in Spanish, despistada, like a little in the cloud sometimes. Like, I don't think she realizes she said
No.
something. Like, for example, we're looking back at the whole voice note date, and there's things that she said that she doesn't remember saying, and that happens. We're human and we forget things. So I think she might have flippantly used the word, got caught. And you realize, to Lisa's point, she's stirring the pot between Stanbury and Lisa as well. Like, why would you call Lisa and say that Stanbury said that if you want to all be friends? It's not adding up.
That's such a good point. And I have to say, and I think my husband would actually agree with this, bragging is her middle name. And it doesn't matter if it's outfits, if it's personality.
Yeah.
She loves to let people know that she is the hottest in the room, that she has the best outfits.
Yeah.
And that comes across as bragging to some individuals. And so I think that your analysis is so good because I never thought about it like that. But Chanel's not helping it.
No.
And do we think that because Stanbury is the rock of the group, she's the one that kind of holds all the women together, that whoever is close to her, like, they'll stay another season?
Yeah, I mean, I actually do believe Chanel's and Caroline's friendship.
It's genuine. Yeah.
They've always made sense to me. They're so funny, sarcastic. They don't take things seriously. They brush things over. They like to have fun, but they can come at people. So to me, it does make sense that they're friends. I just think Lisa has a jealousy towards Stanbury because I did not like Lisa first season because
no,
making very rude comments about Caroline Stanbury. And I was like, You don't realize I'm watching Dubai because Caroline Stanbury's on it, because I watched Ladies of
100%.
London.
Yes.
She's the reason we're watching the show. So don't pretend like who even is Caroline Stanbury. She thinks she's all that. She's not. Like, no, put respect on her name.
She's
Please.
it. Like,
Yeah.
if, like, let's just say Stanbury is not there next season, there's not going to be another season of Dubai.
No.
Like, let's just be honest.
That's why Ladies of London ended.
Yeah.
Come on. So put respect on her name. So, but I think the thing with Lisa, my analysis of Lisa is she is not capable of showing authenticity because I think she's a perfectionist in her own life.
Yeah.
So I don't know when she is authentic. And I don't say that as a dig to her or as a negative comment. I think that's just how she is. I mean, you look at her kids, they're all wearing matching perfect white outfits that they look like they've never been gotten dirty a day in their life. And they play soccer perfectly and she does everything perfect and she always looks good and everything's in order. And I think she works really hard to make that life a reality for her. That I think anything that shows cracks, she wants the cracks to be there on purpose, right? And she's manufacturing the cracks. And she doesn't want you to know or see, because I don't think she wants to know or see how imperfect life can be, you know?
No. And she's gorgeous. Like, I have to say that I was looking at her and I was like, no matter, she can wear a paper bag and look phenomenal. Her boys are gorgeous. She has a great family. But I think you're so right in the sense, it's like I said, I don't think we know the real Lisa.
No, we don't.
And because, like, her husband seems very fun of, like, let's have a good time. It's like he didn't want to leave the party.
All the husbands are fun this season.
I know. I love Sergio. I have to say, like, side note, I think he is, like, so adorable. But I wish we knew the real Lisa. And I think I'm excited for this not new, but I'm excited for the reunion. I think I'm hoping that you're right, that Lisa comes and she's just her authentic self. And she apologizes for, especially to Talene for she should have been that mad to Brooks, not Talene. Yeah, and I think she just got so mad and she needs to just accept it and let's move on.
Agreed. Okay, let's talk about Sarah and Akeem.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck. I have never been so frustrated watching someone. I have.
One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody hangs up on me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do it.
That happened, thank God.
When that happened, I literally went like this. I was like, did that just happen? She handled it like so calm. Like,
because I think it was staged. I think it was staged.
I do too. Because first of all, he was acting weird. Like, it was not normal.
The cameras are up. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah. And like, his reaction was weird. Her reaction was weird. Any normal person would be like, well, what's going on? Like, let's talk about it. Like, can I be there for you? Like, I want to make this work. Or, you know what? Hey, you're right. Like, you have a lot going on. You don't just hang up on somebody.
Well, he's saying, you're going to try embarrassing me on camera. I'm not going to be a part of it. That's what he's saying. That's where I took it. But I find it so frustrating because then she was like, well, like him hanging up was super toxic. But then she was saying I wasn't ending things. I was like, to me, you were ending things.
You were ending things. You literally said, I'm going to stop dating you to focus on my child.
And then later, she said in her confessional, I was saying, let's put my son first. And I said, no, you said I'm putting my son first.
Yeah, like you're done.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. And then was that not after all the toxicity that he's showing, the lack of care, she's saying all this shit about it, that she ended up rekindling with this man?
I don't believe that.
Your healing isn't working, my love. You got to switch.
I don't believe that I just don't believe that. Like, come on. Like,
how insane.
I think she needed a storyline. How did you feel about Saba?
I didn't like her.
Me neither. I feel like it was try hard. Yeah. And I feel like now it was like Akeem did not work for the storyline. It was good for like an episode or two. But now like they're feuding. It's so like it's written out. Like it's for storyline. It's for Sarah again, another season. Yeah. I have to agree with Lisa. And I'm going to say parenting I'm not a parent, so I don't know. But if this happened to Makeem, I think that's his name, I don't know if I would tell him all the details that she did.
I forgot, is it Maktoum?
It had something, like, really cool.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, her son does not need to know the details.
he's, what, 7, 8? I don't think I would ever go back to bed. That's like
Treats her son like an adult. Her son does not need to know about your dating life. Your son does not need to meet in the man if you've been talking for a few months. Your son does not need to be involved. Your son does not need to give you opinions. You don't need to ask your son his opinion. Dude, her healing is, I'm sorry, she needs help. And
she does.
what I hate the most about it, it's not like Jen, where Jen, we look up, we're like, Ori, she's trying to
Yeah.
learn. Sarah acts like she knows everything. Sarah's a know-it-all. And
Yeah, holier than thou. Like, that's how, and it's like, and that's how I feel like she was with Sergio, because I was like, it's just weird. The whole thing is weird. She thinks that, and especially with Brooks too, like, healing works. Like, you should go to healing. Like, it helps me. But you're not in a healthy relationship. You do not respect yourself with men.
No.
Like, you are choosing the worst people for you.
Literally. Okay, so what did you think about this season in general?
Love Tully. I cannot express that enough. Like I said, at first, I was like, I don't know if she's going to mesh. I saw she came in with Brooks. I'm going to say this. Brooks did not have my heart last season. First season, Brooks, I thought she was mean. I was like, she needs to go.
Yeah.
She came back. She had a friend. I was like, okay, like, I'll give her a shot. I fell in love with Talene. I loved how she just comes in so cool. She owns up to her mistakes. She apologizes, but she's so real. And I love her, Stanberry, and Nyan, like the three musketeers. I think that's such a good group. And I love it.
Agreed.
I loved when she's having her cigarette at the party and she's yelling and she, like, her little gangster comes out. I think she's just a great housewife overall. I'm nervous for another season. I think, like everybody's saying, I think we need to see how Andy reacts, because if Andy's over it, it's done.
I think Andy loves them.
I do too.
I think
And
Andy
that's why I was confused, because Talene put out that post this week and she was like, whatever happened? And it made it seem like she got fired. She didn't know. So I was like, cannot leave us. Like, you're so good for the show. And Brooks, at first, she was not my favorite this season. At first, she was coming in hot, but then she was like the comic relief we needed. Like, bringing that little cute little 20-year-old boy. She ended up having an okay season. I think there needs to be a couple new girls. I think it was way better than season 1.
Agreed. Well, I think the issue is that it's not getting viewers, which is so weird to me.
I know. I don't know why.
I don't get it. People need to be watching Dubai. Dubai's so good.
Dubai is so good. Like, I actually get excited. I thought that the finale was going to be more explosive, but I think the reunion is going to be so good. Is it 3 parts?
I'm not sure.
I hope it is.
I hope it is.
I hope it is. Their looks were amazing. Who was your favorite look?
I think Caroline Stanbury looks amazing.
She looks so good.
She looks so good. But I also love Lisa's look. I know people were hating on it. I thought it was so fun.
I thought it was so good.
It was giving mermaid.
It was giving mermaid, and her hair looked so good short. It was so good.
So good.
Everybody looked amazing.
Yeah, I think Dubai's great. I hope they get a season 3. I'm excited for the reunion, and I guess we'll have to see what happens.
Yes, I'm so excited. I have to say, I think they had, out of all the housewife franchises, these were the best looking women. And I have to say, I like whenever they're all in the same, like, color. It looks just so much better. And it's like, yeah.
They show us money.
The cars at the party. Like, and then, this is just a funny bit, but then saying, oh, I'm going to go to the Maldives. I want to go to Paris. Okay, I'm lucky if I go to another city. Like, it made me feel so poor. I was like, I feel so horrible about myself. But they are such money. And I love seeing that, because we get to, like, we see Beverly Hills and their money. We see, you know, Potomac and all the graceful ladies. We see New York. But Dubai's on another level. And I think it's so fun. And I love seeing their outfits, and they just looked gorgeous. I'm so excited. I hope they get another season. I'm super, super excited for the reunion.
Me too. Well, that was a great episode. Thank you so much for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
So
You're welcome
much.
back whenever.
Of course, I would love to come back.
And yeah, that was this week's episode of That's My Opinion Pod. And I will see you guys next week.